Hello everyone, my name is Idania and today I would like to talk about my teaching experience in Huejotzingo. So first of all, I would like to talk about my school. The school that I went was Centro Escolar Enrique Martinez Marquez, and in that school was some public services like potable water, public lighting, internet, public transportation, internet, and things like that. So the groups that I taught English was two groups. The first one was first grade and the second one was sixth grade. And oh my god, I remember that my first jornada was very awful. Actually, I don't like it. I'm gonna tell you why I don't like my first jornada. I don't like my first jornada because I wanted to teach to first grade students a lot of things in less time. I think that as a teacher, it's important to know how is your group because, for example, in first grade, the teacher from group B told me that in general, first grade students was pandemic children because they didn't know how to write, didn't know how to read, draw, communicate with others. My planning from my first jornada, I wanted that the children had a communication by peers, but it was impossible. It was impossible because they didn't understand you. If you told them you have to talk, they didn't do that. They don't understand you. It's like to yes and no, they don't understand you. It was very difficult, and there was a lot of disorder in your classroom. So I have to adapt my lesson plan according their abilities about what they know. One of the big mistakes that I had in my first jornada was that I wanted to teach a lot of vocabulary. For example, in the first jornada, it was about the city, so we were learning about vocabulary in the city that was buses, hospitals, people, houses, hospitals, signals. I don't remember the others, but it was 8. 8 from city and 5 from farm. So it was in total 16 words. And 16 words was a lot from first grade. When I noticed that the topic was bigger for them, I have to adapt my lesson plan. For example, in my lesson plan, we have to learn 80 words, but we just only learn 4 or 5 words, but it depends on your group. For example, in my case, in group A and B, we learn only 4 words, but in the case of group C, we learn 5 words. And we have classes. The things that we did was drew the vocabulary together and grow it. And when they finish to draw and grow the word, we make 2 lines, a line of girls and a line of boys. And they love to pass in front of the classroom, in front of the blackboard. And I gave them my magical variety. So suppose that I gave them my magical variety and I asked them,
and easy or difficult, and they told me easy. Okay, so point the cars. That person took my magical variety and pointed correctly that word, and it was amazing because you thought that as a teacher that they didn't understand anything. That day I was very happy because you never imagine how much the student can learn, and more because when they was a little kid. So in my last class I have planning another activity, but I thought very well that day and I said no, I would like to teach them. I would like to reinforce that topic because it's the last day. So I remember that the last day I present my puppet. I present my puppet and the kids were very happy because they have a different class. Class was amazing because I can control the class. They really pay attention, something that they didn't do it. So now I thought that to have that mistakes in the first jornada helped me a lot in the second jornada, because in the second jornada was easier to plan my class. It was easier to control my group. It was easier for all the aspects, to choose the vocabulary for them, to do what I wanted to do for them. So in the first class I include literature, so I taught them vocabulary with the book, and they were very happy because they never listened a story by a person in a Bluetooth speaker. But now the problem here in the second jornada was that not all of the children went to the school because the cold weather. But something that helped me a lot, it was the second class, because in the second class also I read a book, but that book I did it by myself. So I include the vocabulary that we learned previously in the last class. And also we make a role play, and that role play the students can understand very well. So I think that manage my second jornada was easier for me. So thanks for my mistakes. I can do very well my second jornada. Now, talking about 6th grade students, happened to me the same as first grade students. But in the case of 6th grade, I think that only have to reinforce the topic that it was interview, because somebody else before me was teaching that topic. So when I started to teach that topic to 6th grade, surprise, they didn't know anything, and my planning got down. I work differently as first grade. In 6th grade, I did 2 teams, a blue team and a red team. Because something that the teacher told me is that they don't participate a lot. They all the time are quiet, and yes, that's true. Nobody likes to talk in English because they are afraid. So I did some contracts where the students have to participate in teams when they have to help them when they have some problems or they don't understand anything, where they have enjoyed my classes. And I think that it works a lot because in the first jornada some of them participate, but it wasn't like boom.
I remember that in 6th grade, the students have to write something in their notebook, but they didn't write anything in their notebook. Also, the worksheets that I gave them were in the trash, and I felt annoyed because I spent a lot of time looking for an activity that they really like them. So, in the second jornada, I applied new strategies that helped me a lot. The strategies that works very, very well was a timer. They have a determined time to do this activity. If they complete that activity correctly, that includes to write the date, to write the title, to write the topic correctly, they won a golden star, and it was a motivation for them. So my golden star works. Also, something that works a lot was songs, because I know that they have to reinforce some vocabulary that in spite of it's really, really easy, for them it's very, very difficult. So I reinforce vocabulary with songs, and they love it. During our second jornada, I did a formative assessment. We play a little bit on the board. When I gave them the worksheets, they did it by themselves. They don't use their notebook to guide. And all of the children have their correct answers. They are very honest. Because, for example, at the final of the class, I gave them a golden star in their forehead. So if they have one or two mistakes, they didn't stand up, and they stayed in their seats. And I told them, why you are not here? And they told me, teacher, I have a cross, or I have to cross. And it's like, but doesn't matter, because you did it by yourself. So come in, I'm gonna give you your golden star, but I need that you correct your activity. And the next day when we have classes, they show me, look teacher, I correct. And I check it, and they correct. And it was amazing, because the children that didn't work in the first jornada now worked in the second jornada. So I was really happy for them. In our last day, I asked them a homework where they have to draw some signs, a warning and provided signs. So I noticed that the students draw the signs that was difficult for them. And I gave them a coupon. In that coupon, I qualify 3 aspects, just to broaden the homework, the quality of work, and design and creativity. And all of the kids brought the homework. We played a little bit, and I think that it was the best class that I taught in 6th grade, in spite of the mistakes that I had in the first jornada. But we are teachers, and we are learning. We are in a process where we are learning how children learn, because no all of the children learn in the same way. You have to innovate all the time. You have to do a lot of activities, and more because it's elementary school. You work with little kids, and it's different in all aspects.